Okay, everybody, I managed to bring myself out of the hold of the booze for a little bit, and I'm going to do Elite XC predictions for the card this Saturday. It's called Uprising, and as always, going to start at the bottom and work my way up. First up, we have Justin. Not really sure how to say his name. I think it's Buckles and Colo Coca. I looked at their fight finders because honestly I haven't seen either of these guys fight. This is the only fight in the card where I literally haven't seen anything. Got nothing. Justin appears to be a strong wrestler. Colo appears to be a striker, so I'm going to go with a decision for Justin. He's probably going to take him down and maybe lay him prey. Maybe he has more to him than I think. But, you know, I can only go with facts that I know. Joey Dream Smasher Villasenor versus Ricky Fukuda. Taking the Dream Smasher because I think he's a little bit better on the feet, and I think he's probably going to be able to take this to the ground. Ricky is a tough guy, so I don't think he finishes him. So I'm thinking a decision, but it's going to be a bit of a one-sided decision. It's going to be Ricky's toughness, I think, more than anything else that keeps the fight going. Next up, we have Brandon Wolf and Chad Klingensmith. Haven't seen Chad, have seen Brandon. Brandon is a pretty solid wrestler. He's got some good ground and pound, but I don't think he's really found his way to finishing MMA fights yet. And he takes this one unanimous decision just through takedowns, good positioning, enough ground and pound to keep the fight there. And that's how I see the fight going. Tyson Nam, Albert Manners. I'm thinking Tyson Nam is a guy to look for. He's got a lot of upside to him, and I think he's pretty good at everything. I think this fight he probably takes via stoppage, maybe a standing KO or a TKO on the ground. Just because I don't think Albert has anything that, really will surprise him. I don't think he has the stuff to beat Tyson. Gina Carano and Tanya Evinger, pardon me, is the female fight for the card, and I'm taking Gina Carano via submission because Tanya's ground game. Mind you, I've only seen one of her fights, but it looks pretty freaking poor, I have to say. And I think that can be exploited by Gina for a submission. I'll say it takes to the second round. Nick Diaz, Mike Aina. This is one of two fights that are the old school versus new school, they're calling it, because in both cases, Jake Shields, Nick Diaz trained with the Gracie, which is Cesar Gracie, and both Mike Aina and Renato Verissimo, Ceruto to most people, they've been training with BJ Penn. Now, I'm taking both the Gracie guys to win, Shields via unanimous decision and Diaz via first round submission, because I'm not sure how good of a trainer BJ Penn is. He didn't look all that great in Tough 5, and I said before Tough 5 that a man that physically gifted may not be the best trainer. He hasn't really had to learn. I mean, he's learned how to do things, but it's not hard for him, and maybe he can't understand why it is hard for someone. And just generally, I think, well, for one thing, also Diaz and Shields are both phenomenal fighters that the UFC should be in the UFC. Diaz, of course, was in the UFC. He was a little over 500 because he had that rather terrible three fight losing streak to Diego Sanchez, Joe Riggs, and Sean Shirk. I don't know why I thought Spencer Fisher was like Sean Shirk. All by decision. He's got an excellent ground game. He's got a pretty good striking game. His wrestling still could use some work, but he did stop Shirk's takedowns, and that was impressive. So yeah, I think he takes Mike Aina via submission. Aina, from what I've seen, he's got some solid kickboxing and he's got some solid ground game, but it's not anything near the level of some of Diaz's former opponents. Moving on to Shields versus Ceruto. Ceruto, of course, fought in the UFC 3 times, going 1-2, losing to Matt Hughes and Frank Trigg, the two big dogs in the division at the time, and defeating former welterweight champion Carlos Newton. I don't know what more is to be said about this fight. Both guys, I think, have ground games that cancel each other out, but I think Jake Shields is going to be on top, and that's going to influence it. He's going to win a unanimous decision. Now, Jake could opt to stand with Ceruto because his Ceruto's stand-up is ugly, but Shields is nothing too impressive either. So I think he takes him down. He defends any submission Ceruto throws at him. Basically wins the decision. Not a terribly exciting fight, I must say, when I put it that way. But I'm looking forward to it because, I mean, it's top competition versus each other outside of the UFC is hard to find. Finally, we have Robbie Lawler and Merlin Ninja Hua. Now, of course, Merlin Ninja Hua is the brother of Shogun Hua, and he fought in Pride, most famous though for getting completely decimated by Sergei Haratonov. That being said, we're looking at two strikers, two guys with a pretty good striking game, and both have a ground game. I'd say Lawler is not as good as Ninja's, but Lawler's is a good wrestler. I don't think Ninja can take it to the ground. I think Lawler knocks him out just because he may be losing this fight up to the knockout, but that man has some serious KO power. I think he'll do it here. I think he'll knock Ninja out in the second, third round. And that's all for Elite FC Uprising. Hope you enjoyed. Comments, excuse me, rate, subscribe. Krabby Flaming will be erased, as will spam. So you're just wasting your time and mine. And I will see you maybe later today, because I might do some UFC videos and I might do the K1 tournament video. But I don't know. I may not have the time. I got some homework, I gotta make dinner, etc. Anyways, peace out.